Welcome race fans to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast with Cam K and Graydon Bunn. True Canadian race fans. This show is presented by Remax Jack. Call Remax Jack and start to pack. Green flag is out. Let's get this podcast underway.
Welcome into another episode of Stickers and Scuffs, friends. Today we have a special episode with the President and Chief Marketing Officer of Qwick Wick, Dave Lloyd. Welcome into the show, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that was a great intro, Graydon. Wow, A+. Excellent.
Not bad for the rookie, eh?
It.
For our familiar audience, you're usually used to seeing Cam do this, but I thought I'd try my hand at it this time. At any rate, Dave...
I was your first.
Yes.
Special episode.
Yeah. How was it for you, Dave? It was great for me.
Too much information. Too much information. I might just have to take up smoking cigars.
That's a hell of an icebreaker, isn't it? Dave, let's get right into it here. Can you give us sort of the Cole's Notes version, if you will, of Qwick Wick, the company, and a little bit about the product itself?
Yeah, sure. So basically, Qwick Wick was founded 30 years ago on just a niche idea. We're blessed to have the same creator of the company and founder, Frank Wall, still active with the company. He was actually supposed to join us today, but had some technical difficulties. But yeah, so Frank started the company 30 years ago, and what he did is he actually did it with the labor of love. His first labor force was all mentally challenged people that were kind of moved away out of society, and he kind of embraced them and gave them jobs. And like he said, it cost him more to hire them than it did to make money and to make product. But he did a labor of love. Frank has a big, long history of dealing with support networks for youth and adults and so forth over the years, as well as his father. It's quite a legacy. So Frank started making the Qwick Wick product as just kind of a neat little thing. He thought it could be a niche item, and it's kind of evolved over 30 years. And then Frank's, a bit of an entrepreneur, or as I like to call him, and a little bit of a nutty professor, and he likes to play with widgets. And so he's always got lots of kind of things on the go. And then I'd say probably about 10, 15 years ago, Frank kind of got it as a specialty item into specialty stores, kind of like your Muskoka stores or your Pinery campsites, Ontario campsites. So it was kind of a niche market he was doing very well with, and then a couple of key accounts in the U.S. that dealt with campsites and so forth. So it was kind of just a nice little evolution. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, we kind of tried to expand the company, take it to the next level, involving some additional staff, management, and so on and so forth, to kind of take it to the next level. He stepped back out of the company for a little while, for a better part of 2 to 3 years, while this new management team kind of took it. And then Frank had to come back involved with the company about 2 years ago, to sort of take back control and kind of continue the legacy or kind of the vision that he had for the company. And that's where Frank and I started chatting. I come from the sports marketing and licensing world for a better part of 30 years. So Frank got involved, and he knows nothing about motorsport racing. And Frank, kind of how we came together is he was in Costa Rica. He has a place down there, and he was down there, and he was sitting in his pool talking to NASCAR Pinty Series, and cut a deal to be the sponsor of the first NASCAR race of the season at Sunset Speedway in his pool. And he laughed because he says, I didn't have any money to cut the deal, so to speak. He says, but I thought it was too good of an opportunity. So, but anyone that's in a pool in Costa Rica that says they have no money, yeah, right. You know what I mean? That's like the swampland in Florida. So Frank basically got involved with the motorsport industry, but had no knowledge of it whatsoever. I myself worked down with NASCAR USA in Charlotte and in Daytona with 6 or 7 of the teams for about 7 or 8 years on a pretty tight basis. So I sort of saw what was going on a branding standpoint and the licensing and for companies that are with NASCAR. Very loyal audience. You guys, probably heard the elevator pitch of, why to get involved with NASCAR. It's this, it's that, it's, brand loyalty and that. So I came on board, and then Frank and I kind of talked, and I said, well, Frank, I've got a lot of sort of direction and kind of vision where we take this to the next level. And so over the last year and a half, 2 years, we've leveraged the NASCAR relationship. We've expanded into our motorsport program. During times where, let's be honest, during times where there's not a lot of companies that are even putting their hand up to do anything, let alone, sponsor or get involved in anything. It could be your local kids soccer team. They're not even doing that. It's on the news the other day. So we got involved in the motorsport program, and then I kind of headed that up and then created a kind of a business plan around that. And then we've kind of taken the company to the next level. We invested a lot of money on a new fully automated machine for our product, which now actually produces our Qwick Wick 4-pack, which is the small pack with 4 in it. This is actually the Chandler Smith one that's down at the stage. Chandler runs in the truck series and does some driving for us up here when they can get across the border.
Right.
We now produce 10,000 of these boxes a day now with this fully automated service. So
awesome.
So to take the company to the next level, Frank and I had to sort of look at how, when Walmarts and the Ronas and the Sobeys put their hand up, you got 14 days to have an FOB sitting on their back door. And if it's not, you're off that list and you're not invited to the Christmas party.
Right.
So, so we automated this new machine, and it's actually state of the art, unbelievable machine. It's probably, it's just incredible. So and then we've gone out since then and we've secured Sobeys, Walmart Canada, Rona, Home Depot. We deal with Camping World in the USA now. We're dealing with Walmart USA. So we're on the verge of like taking the company to extremely high level. And so with that, kind of the segue is we kind of looked at our marketing efforts and our branding efforts and said, hey, let's expand this motorsport program. Right now where guys are going, hey, not a chance. I'll give you a drum of gasoline and a bunch of brake fluid and hope you have a great season. Where last year they may have given them $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. That's all perspective, and it's the same as in Cup Series south of the border. It's the same as Pinty's. I have a relationship with our Pinty's driver. We'll chat a little bit on that as we go. Back 3-4 years ago with Jeff Lapovich and his two sons, Kyle and Traden. So I already had a kind of a relationship there. So when this whole Pinty's thing and NASCAR came together up here north of the border, we kind of expanded it. But we wanted it to be true to all the motorsports guys, because there's guys in Pinty's. If there's no fans, if there's no cars, there's no fans. And if you're supporting the big boys, sort of thing. So we created our Qwick Wick Racing Team program. And then we kind of launched that just in the fall of this year, and it's just kind of snowballing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like answers like that.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
excellently detailed. Yeah.
Yes. We can definitely, I'd like to go a little bit more into what you touched on a little bit early in your answer, which was, the pitch to work with NASCAR, the pitch to come to racing. Specifically because you had touched on that there isn't a ton of new sponsorship coming in, and there's a lot of heavy hitters that maybe aren't interested in racing. So what does NASCAR and Motorsports give to you as a company when you sponsor a car? In a way, what's your pitch if you were to give it to a company that could be leaning on the side of motorsports? Is it worth that investment for you guys?
That's I've been doing this a long time. That's $1 million question, and if you had the $1 million answer, you'd be a millionaire times 10, or you'd be broke. The old proverbial saying, if you want to be a millionaire, stay out of racing, right? So what the value brings in anything when it comes to motorsports, whether it's what we're doing at Sunset Speedway, what we're doing at Southwestern Ontario Motor Speedway, which is a dirt track down in Buxton there, which is fantastic. It's going to be the state-of-the-art dirt track. I think what it does is you have to be consistent. You can't come in, what I would tell any company is you've got to come in, kind of set your footprint of where you want to be. NASCAR obviously gives us a huge bit of credibility. Having that, having this, the NASCAR logo, on our packaging, obviously gives us credibility from the NASCAR community and the racing community. but we made our program we kind of dovetailed our program into a lot of different forms of motorsport racing right across Canada. Like we're dealing with the Avion guys in BC. We're dealing with Joan and all the great folks out of Riverside, Anna Kanish for the IWK 250 race this year. We're putting on a huge Qwick Wick tailgate party on Wednesday and Thursday night. Which is a NASCAR track that unfortunately NASCAR is not going to this year. We're dealing with Loretta, who owns Edmonton International Raceway, which again is a NASCAR track. Loretta's a great lady, so we've got some stuff going on there with them. So to kind of I'm kind of blabbing on with your answer, but you really got to have a solid footprint and you got to be consistent. So what we're doing this year, I think, sets us apart from anybody as a business. We already have the best fire starters in the world. Our product, I'll put it up against anybody else head to head. Forget about branding. Let's just take this. I've got a test with 10 different wicks out there that we videotaped the other day, and they all burnt out in like 30 seconds and 5 minutes, and ours burned for like 40 in the law. Anyways.
Yeah.
So when it comes to what we think with NASCAR number one is the kind of our plateau. It's kind of the top of the food chain in Canada, obviously. And we're dealing with the APC late model guys over there and working with them on a lot of stuff too. And that's kind of a parallel because, Pinty's cars and NASCAR Pinty cars are kind of unique in their own element. And then they've got the APC, which is the broader spectrum. But just being consistent, NASCAR is fantastic to work with. I mean, they'll bend over backwards, do whatever they want. If they like you, you're kind of set, and they'll do whatever they can to make it work for you. These last 2 years have been a struggle for everybody. So I just think the most thing is to be consistent. There's a lot of companies will come in and slap their stickers. They're one and done. The next season, you don't see them. So we kind of wanted to spread out. If I was going to spend $1, I wanted to spread that dollar out across Canada. So maybe 20 cents went to Pinty's, and 10 cents went to Joan, and 10 cents went to Loretta and Edmonton, and 30 cents went to APC, and you got to do it that way because I always say in the marketing world, in the sports world, you could be like Nike and put all your money in Tiger Woods, and something happens, and by geez, you're kind of good or bad, right? So you don't know, right? So we're really excited about this year with what we're doing. But I think the most important thing is in motorsports is you can build a loyalty base, and I think you can have you can get a big footprint, a big consistent and loyal footprint with your product.
Well, and I think we've seen this, already with just your involvement in the last couple of years. I mean, the guy in the interview chair next to me, he every weekend is using that Qwick Wick. Every time
Fireman's lifted, it's back on.
My warehouse keeps saying we got another email. It needs more.
and it's not even just Graydon, but it's also race teams. They're always touting the product, and that's what I think a lot of these companies, they don't know that, hey, you get on a race car, you've got fans that are going to, that they're going to get your product just because you're on a race car. That's all about the support.
You got to be on the right race car, and you got to have the right branding, the right sport. Like, I don't want to be associated with a team that, that's jumping on hoods and cars and pits and screaming and yelling, and on social media they're they have to be a brand ambassador. So we're very, very blessed that everybody that we put on our team this year, including shows like yourself, that they're a good representation of our product. That's really important.
Thank you.
Is there, I guess I have to, is there a fear in doing any new partnership nowadays because you don't know if there's another side to a person, or do you guys have to do a lot of research before you decide that you're going to jump in and be a brand ambassador with, say, Kyle Steckley or Michael Herniak and the entire Herniak Hall Motorsports team, or a team in Oscar? Do you guys how do you guys go about that?
Well, that's a great question. We have a little bit of a selection committee, and I also have 2 or 3 people that are outside of the company that are also outside of motorsports, know nothing about them. So they'll go in and they'll check out their Facebook, their Instagram. They'll kind of get a vibe and feel and say, what do you think of this or that? We do some we do a bit of a deep dive into it. At the end of the day, you can only ask so much because we're not we're not buying them a race car. We're giving them, like, our sponsor program is $5,000 worth of product that they can continually repeat and sell. We give it to them for free. So I don't think there's a lot of sponsors paying $5,000 right now to anybody. And I'm talking like a mini stock to a street stock, to the Pinties, obviously, with Trayton's program with 22 Racing. That's kind of a different stick,
Right.
We're kind of lucky to be part of that program, to be perfectly honest with you, with Scott Steckley and Kyle, his son, racing late model, and Trayton running the pro, the Pinty series. We're pretty blessed on that perspective. So, and it's like anything in business. You got to have some trust, right? Your gut's got to feel good, and a handshake is still a handshake. If they say they're going to do something, do it, right? And listen, if they don't, next year they're off the program, and we go reach out to somebody else that's in the series that we know can do a better job.
Well, Dave, it sounds like your marketing and sports experience is a great wealth of knowledge to the Qwick Wick company, and especially as you're kind of planting your roots in all these different series. Can you tell us all the different series that we can see the Qwick Wick name on in 2021?
Quiz time.
That was a quiz. Yeah, I guess that was a quiz question.
We'll just kind of roll the credits here, and I'll sort of.
Yes.
Holy
Look at that. Oh my God.
So I knew you guys were going to ask me, so I said I better put my little cheat sheet together here. And this is in no preferred order. This is kind of just as we jammed them down here.
And before you go, Dave, that's great to see a list that big of involvement in racing. Like you said, no one else is doing that. Go ahead.
It's kind of interesting because I'm kind of holding it up here, but the top half are drivers and teams, and the bottom half are tracks.
Oh, hell
awesome.
So it's kind of a catch-22. We kind of wanted to have both sides of it, right? So.
Yeah.
So obviously, as you know, we're the co-sponsor with RCG Sports on the Pinty's car for Trayton, the new 20 car, the Qwick Wick Firestarter Pinty series. We're a title sponsor for Kyle Steckley and his awesome brand new. There he is there, and his new hot rod, his new APC is absolutely sick. It's a crazy car.
Beautiful.
Mind you,
Jerry Hall, shout out. The Jerry Hall, the designer, shout out to him.
Oh yeah, Jerry does everything. He designed even the Pinty's car.
Yes, yeah, he's the king.
He did even design some mock-ups for some of our guys out in the east.
Beauty.
So let me go through this quickly. So we got Trayton in the Pinty series this year. We've got Kyle Steckley in the Pro Late Model series. We've got Robbie Thompson, which is actually kind of working with us out in the Maritimes. He's running a little Legend Cars program out there. We've got Amanda Balsam. She's running the Hot Rod Modified series. Amanda's actually with the London recreational team, kind of combined with Mike Schmidt in that stable. And there's a guy there that's probably done more for motorsports in Ontario on the grassroots level than anybody. And of course, Mike's the distributor for us, working with all the teams and helping them out. So big shout out.
Great job, Mike.
Big shout out to Mike. Great guy. Couldn't ask for a better guy. We're trying to help out Junior Farley in a super mod for New York, but he's trying to get across the border, so we can't really. But we've got something set up for him. We've got Chris LeBaron out of Sunset running a mini stock. We've got Tyler Hahn running the Oscar Hot Rod. That car is just a sick beast.
Oh, I love that car.
I think the new one's coming out. We got the Sportsman series and the guys at Hall. You know those guys well.
Yeah, our boys.
I was just at Delaware Speedway yesterday, actually, and a bunch of them were all testing yesterday.
Awesome.
Cool.
And then we've got Emma, Mike, and Tim Norris, which are running the Ontario Pro Challenge Series. We've got Andrew Lively running a Legend car in the Maritimes as well as a pro late model. And we've got a lovely girl by the name of Jessica Power. What a great racing name. She runs a dirt modified.
Awesome.
And she's out in the Kingston area. She's running in Kingston, Brighton, and Cornwall. And then, of course, on our tracks programs for our family and friends program on our tracks, we're the title sponsor for the NASCAR Pinty Series as the official title sponsor or the official fire starter. We are the sponsor with the APC Pro Late Model Series this year. And then the last weekend of the year at Delaware is going to be the triple. It's probably going to be the biggest show in car racing this year. So they kind of haven't firmed it up, but I was on the phone with NASCAR this morning. So Friday night, we are actually sponsoring now the Super Stock Series and right across Ontario.
Yep.
So it's not
nice.
Quick Super Stock Series. That consists of 5 races, but it's a really, really cool program because those 5 races are strategically placed throughout the year. But as you go back to your home track and run your Super Stock, the points you accumulate there accumulate towards being the Qwick Wick Super Stock champion. So
Awesome.
it ties in a guy that goes to Flamborough and then will run at the
That's
run at
great.
whatever race, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then what we're doing for that is we're giving the winning team for the Qwick Wick Super Stock Series. We're giving the winning team 2 tickets to come down to Costa Rica to be our guest in Costa Rica for a week.
All right.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So the APC guys, we're working really close with them. Obviously, the championship race weekend will be the Qwick Wick Super Stock Championship. Then on Saturday, the APC, and then on Sunday will be the Pinty's Championship race, all at Delaware. We're the title sponsor of the Can-Am Pro Midget Series this year, so we're sponsoring that entire series. We're the sponsor of the right down to the Southern Ontario Motor Speedway with Blake Outhouse and the dirt track there. And I'm telling you guys right now, I wasn't a big dirt guy. I liked it. I seen it. I watched it or whatever. These guys are number one. They're nuts. But that new track, the gentleman's name is Henry, who's owned that track, has a dirt track in Texas. This guy is building the Taj Mahal. It'll be the diamond in the rough down there, and people are going to blow their mind. And I guarantee you, I'll predict in 2 years, the World of Outlaw will be at that track.
Holy
wow.
crap. Wow.
Guaranteed.
Man,
that track is that good, and it's going to be that fast, and it's going to have that much appeal.
so cool.
Yeah, so we've got 2 feature races. We're the title track sponsor at that dirt track. We got 2 hot July and August nights, Qwick Wick nights. Sunset Speedway, we're working with them on individual programs as well as Flamborough. We're working with the Eastbound Raceway in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Edmonton International Raceway. Also, we're working with them out in Edmonton to promote stuff. And then of course we signed up with Joan at Riverside and Annie Kanish and her team. And then right down to the Waterloo Regional Car Club at Flamborough. We sponsored them, and we're sponsoring all their trophies and stuff like that. So that's kind of a big platform to sort of say for a company that 2 years ago wasn't really that involved in motorsports, so to speak. But
I think Graydon, I think we got something to say. Marcus Lemonis, move over. There's a new top dog.
Actually, funny enough, I was actually doing a little conversation with them because obviously we're in Camping World.
Yeah.
And Marcus is, we've had some chats with Marcus and some other stuff because we're working with Chandler Smith, and also we're working with Stuart Friesen. That's Stuart back for dirt. And so Marcus, we're kind of really close to announcing some cool stuff with Camping World. So
awesome.
He's in a different league than we'll ever be. And that guy is like, he gave $50,000 away for Mother's Day to the best team that can tell the best Mother's Day story.
Yeah.
It's an unfathomable, like, the things that guy does, like the different campaigns he launches. But I mean, in terms of keeping it all to scale, I mean, you said it yourself, and we're saying it. There's not a lot of companies that are doing what you're willing to do for all the things you just mentioned: tracks, teams, drivers.
And we thank you for it.
Canadian motorsports, let alone just Ontario. I mean, and as you said, branching out into the United States. I mean, it's a big platform to activate on, and it's so cool that you're reaching out to all those different levels and different drivers. That shows that you're all one brand. I mean, that's a cool team building kind of exercise, if you will, Dave.
Yeah, it kind of runs parallel. I never even thought about it that way, but it's kind of very similar to what we're doing on a very micro scale, to what Marcus is doing down there with Camping World and their brand. And also, Mr. Morris with Bass Pro Shop. I mean, he's done a lot too behind the records. He doesn't need to do anything because it's, they're set, so to speak. But, Marcus, Camping World, their branding, they're up in Canada now with Good Sam's Club up in Canada, which is their online platform. So yeah, no, it's, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's a good program in Canada because it gives the guys a little added incentive. They got to do a bit of work to sell some product. But listen, I'm aging myself. You guys are a lot younger, but I did the fundraising for my daughter for her hockey team, football team, baseball, soccer, and sold the box of chocolate almonds to the same friggin' people all the time. So,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So like to say, hey, here's a really cool product and, support the race team, I think it's not a bad thing to ask, right? So
and
Absolutely.
it's so great because you think about like business to business deals where we've seen kind of, let's just say the one that's with Bubba Wallace this weekend. You've got his normal sponsors, DoorDash, but DoorDash is partnering with PetSmart. So PetSmart is going to be on his car. So there's even, potentially there could be stuff down the line where maybe, I know I'm talking way out here, but a Qwick Wick Home Depot car or a Qwick Wick Sobeys car, stuff like that,
Absolutely.
and that's, it's so nice to hear that because there's not I feel like there's so many opportunities that we could do and build with this. It's so nice to hear this. And I know you're saying thank you to us, but no, really, we're saying thank you to you guys. You guys are really, you're making it a lot easier for us to have a race season. It's
a sigh of relief.
Yeah, it's a sigh of relief is the biggest thing.
Well, there's a lot of great companies in the sport and a lot of race teams for a lot of years. So
yeah,
we're just giving them another opportunity. We're not kind of coming out like the big dogs or whatever. I look at some of these race teams and some of these cars, even yesterday at Delaware when they were testing, and some of these cars had 15 different logo stickers on their cars, right? I mean, some guy may just give them $100 or 500 or whatever. The one thing about grassroots racing is that you get a good fan base, you get a good following, but it's just a good corporate responsibility. It's a good thing to do. We like motorsport racing. I've got a history with it. Frank's just starting to get involved in it, and at the end of the day, it's just a good. During the last 2 years have been tough. A lot tough on businesses, tough on people, personality wise and emotionally wise. I think it's going to be tough for another year or two because as things get back to normal, the normal is not going to be what it was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. When you can kind of have some fun and by geez, it was pretty cool to hear the cars roaring around that track yesterday. It's been a long time, so. It's good.
Yeah, you guys haven't really felt the full force, I feel, yet. Like you guys came in, what was it? Was it 2019 that you guys it was your first year, or 2018, maybe a little bit?
2019, we sponsored the opening race at Sunset, and we were on Tag's car that Trayton drove. So that would have been that would have been last year. 2019, we came on at Canadian Tire Motor Speedway at the end of the year. And we had Chandler Smith on the car at CMT, and Chandler was in the 22 car. And then we had a full program slated for 220 for last year, which obviously got condensed down. But we had the first the first race, and at the end of the day with NASCAR, the activation is kind of where you get the the ROI or something that you can measure. Meaning the activation that you can go to the track, you can do some promotions, giveaways. So last year we just couldn't do that, right? So thank God for the great folks at TSN and Joel and all those guys, and their production is first class. They've dropped our commercial on there, and we got to deal with TSN. So they've been really, really good to us actually during this COVID. But our product is not a product that you need, right? And obviously when you have a campgrounds and fire bans and all these type of things, it kind of we're not selling you, milk and eggs and bread and butter and stuff. It's harder for your printer to work. You know what I mean? Like ours is a luxury item that is kind of I'll have a beer. And like I said, my big vision is to have Qwick Wicks in every beer store in Canada at one point in time.
Nothing like getting drunk and lighting fires, right?
Well, campfires. It's a lifestyle brand, right? We have two brands: the Adrenaline brand, which is for motorsports, and we have the Lifestyle brand, which is just sitting around having a beer at the cottage and by a campfire or having a cocktail. So
it's the Graydon Bunn theory.
It's real. It's 100% relatable. Like I said, my kids are. My eldest will be 13 in a month, and the other one's going to be 11. So he's not far along. He's preteen. And they're at the age where we're literally passing the torch on here. We've done the ceremonial quick light, like they're lighting the campfires now for Dad, so Dad doesn't even have to get up from his chair. So,
well, my girlfriend's in Ottawa, and she's a fire connoisseur now in Woodstow. She loves these Qwick Wicks. She's like, oh,
it is. It's so convenient.
That's the one thing about the product that just blows people away. We have 100% absorption rate, meaning the clients that bought it and never returned one. Like, what company can say that? Like Mars Bar can't even say that about the whole.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Like we have like people have said, oh, hey, the wick fell out. Well, guess what? You really don't need the wick. You can just light it. You don't even really need it. The wick's there because it's part of the name. It's part of the branding.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? We've had people who left their box outside in the snow all winter long, and they go and they bang the snow off of it and put a lighter to it, and then 2 seconds later it's lit, and they stick it under a wet log, and the log is burning in 20 minutes. So,
and that's what
stuff works.
It's so great because not just
it smells amazing.
Obviously in a condo, so I can't be burning this, but it smells amazing. Like I've said that to Graydon. I said I literally could just stick it in the bathroom and it would make it smell amazing. Not only that, is that I've talked about like the product that this could be used with. There's even more things. You guys have, I think specifically about being a scout and being stuck in all those winter camps 100%. And the rain and never being able to get a fire going. Well, hello, right here. Every scout group has got to get this. It's definitely going to help.
You can take that boating. If you ever had an accident, your boat crashed, you can light that and throw it in the water. That'll stay in the water. It'll float and won't burn out.
Amazing.
It'll put a 12-inch flame. I'll tell you a little funny New Year's Eve story. My friend has a concrete pool, so we ended up dumping a bucket of them in the pool and lighting them for New Year's Eve, and they were floating around. It looked very obvious. It looked beautiful.
Cool.
But yeah, they'll light. Like you can literally sit, if you had like if you had a little pond, you could put one in there and light it and just let it float around. But if you're on a canoe or something like that, and all of a sudden something happens, boom, you can light it, throw it in there or whatever. So boating, lights in the rain. You can take a leaf blower, light it, put a leaf blower beside it 3 inches away, and the leaf blower won't move it, blow it out, nothing.
Amazing. Now you guys have something else that was, and Graydon, I know you and I, we've talked about this, and I forgot to talk about it the last time. You have the Qwick Wick belt, which is like that wrestling title. As a wrestling guy, absolutely love that. Who came up with that idea? I think it's brilliant.
It was all Frank's doing. That was Frank and Al from NASCAR. Al's their marketing, kind of one of their marketing directors there, Alan. And we kind of want to do something for a hot lap award. So we've got one for APC this year for the APC guys. The Qwick Wick hot lap is just the best lap during the race. It's not qualifying because money buys qualifying polls, but during a race when the guy's, on it halfway through a race, it's kind of an equal playing field. So the belt is actually manufactured in New Jersey. It's manufactured from the same company that does all the WWE belts, so WWF belt. Yeah. So the guy's down there, and it's all to scale. The thing weighs like friggin'
holy crap
pounds, and it's exactly the same championship WWE. I think that's the WWE, right?
Yeah.
WWE belt. So it's the same guy. The guy's company actually is Wildcat. I should pull him up here. Hang on. I just proofed the belt this morning. It's funny you guys say that.
Stickers and awesome. Scuffs belt out there, Graydon?
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
They're walking around with that.
The other thing I want to do is I want to have it at the track, and I want to do some fan zone friendly stuff where the kids could wear the belt.
Yes.
Stand beside the Pinty's, the NASCAR Pinty's promo car.
Yeah.
Stand beside the APC, thing. We've got a Qwick Wick truck that's coming out, which is going to be all wrapped and looking crazy wild. And we've got a Qwick Wick pace car, and on and on and on. But
you got Impact Wrestling in Toronto, man. Got to get some of those superstars out there. Get that Qwick Wick belt. There we go.
That'd be pretty cool. I want to do a celebrity race with all athletes outside of the racing world, like wrestlers and hockey players and.
Cool.
Joe Thornton. I know he's a good friend with DJ Kennington, so that would
yeah,
he might be retiring now.
Hey, we still need a Jumbo Joe Motorsports on the Pinty series, so let's make it happen.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That'd be cool.
We also have sort of a common interest here, Dave, with a charity of choice, so to speak. We're good friends with Brad Miller of Laps for MD, and you've mentioned that you have interest in their charity as well.
Yeah, no, that's just a no-brainer. So obviously, Kyle Steckley, who's been a big proponent and big supporter, as well as Trade, and a lot of the guys in the racing community, especially in Southwestern Ontario, have been big proponents of that. So we're working on some neat things for that, but we're making that what I'm going to do is I'm going to design a Qwick Wick collage poster, which is going to have all the teams, obviously featuring Trade and Kyle and the APC guys and the Qwick Wick Super Stock, and then all the other teams and tracks. Kind of have this poster, and I'm gonna produce the poster, design it, and then we're gonna sort of raffle it or just make a donation. People can get a poster at a racetrack. You want to make a $2 or $5 donation or whatever, and just kind of support that.
Awesome.
And then different things like that. And then we're also, on the backside, we're supporting our Qwick Wick teams. So it's a charity of choice that our teams now are all embracing. So some of the teams that are on with us before weren't part of that. Some were. You can't ask for a better person that's, number
Amazing.
one, he's a gearhead and he's a motorhead. And, you know what I mean? And then we've also been promoting, make sure that everybody kind of does the shout out for his GoFundMe page. We did a bunch of stuff on our medias and pushed that out for his, to get his new wheels for him. We're working on some stuff like that too. We'll have more to talk about in the very near future. We just need to get these doors open at the racetracks first.
Oh, you said it.
I just got to stop Frank from spending money until we get some fans.
Well, we're getting close to wrapping up here, Dave. But before we go, talking about all these partnerships and things, albeit we're a very small part of things, but we have some contest ideas coming up that we're not quite ready to share specifics on. But we're very happy to have some Qwick Wick stuff to give away as part of these contests that are coming up.
Absolutely. And then as we get rolling into race season, we'll recap on this, and then maybe we'll do something kind of big towards the end on the show or something for you guys. So we'll just kind of tease the listening audience till then.
That's all. Yeah, that was just a little poke there at everybody. And from us, we can't thank you enough for your support, and we look forward to polishing on those ideas and rolling those out as the season progresses.
100%. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys at the track soon once we kind of get through this. Some pretty encouraging numbers today on the COVID numbers, and I think we're going to make a big turn in the next few weeks, which is going to be good for everybody's mind and body and soul, and good for racetracks.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We definitely want to get out there, talk about the Stickers and Scuffs podcast at the racetrack and interact with some people. Finally,
Yes,
be great. When we've kind of worked our way through some of the Qwick Wick drivers. We've had Trayton, we've had Kyle, we've had the Herniak Hall teams. We're hopefully going to be able to connect with Amanda Balson in the Hot Rod Series, Tyler Hahn, hopefully at the track, because those, if you guys haven't seen it, wow. So again, Dave, thank you so much for doing what you guys do. It really just is so cool to have a company like this. It really does feel like the camping world of Canada, because you guys are you're there, you're helping out all these teams and drivers, and it feels like you're here to stay. And that means so much as longtime race fans to have you
and
guys.
Consumers.
Major consumers. This
That's
guy over
right.
here, he just
That's
lives
awesome.
with Qwick Wick in his shorts.
We get you out of a condo, and then you can have a real campfire.
If
Hey?
if Qwick Wick is
You gotta
willing
move
to
up. You gotta move up to Bracebridge like your wingman there. And then you'll be
Yeah, we're gonna ship Cam up north for a campfire.
if we end up in a house sponsored by Qwick Wick, then that's great. If you guys start buying me houses and stuff, okay.
All right. Well,
Maybe a seasonal residence
keep smelling those Qwick Wicks in your condo.
Crack a window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
guys,
happens.
great
It
job.
smelled a little too much. Yeah. All right.
That's
So thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
Thanks again. Take care. Stickers and Scuffs are proud supporters of Laps for MD. Labs for MD helps those with muscular dystrophy by raising funds, supporting MD charities through racing. We encourage those who are not already a part of the Labs for MD family to check them out on social media and their website, labsformd.blogspot.com.